Hello, I'm Jana Ślewiński and this is Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. First, you might be wondering, why the yellow daffodil? Well, let me tell you briefly. During World War II, the German Nazis have occupied much of Poland, including Warsaw. Now, Warsaw used to have a very large Jewish population, a vibrant Jewish culture. However, this was all destroyed by the German Nazis. People were rounded up in the ghetto. And when the time has come for them to be shipped off to the concentration camps, the military organizations formed there have decided enough was enough. They rose against the Nazi Germans in what later came to be known as the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And the yellow daffodil is the symbol of that act of resistance. It was a time of tragedy, but also a time of honor and heroism. The 81st anniversary is happening today, and all across Poland, people are paying homage to that particular moment in history. So now, let's move on to the situation on the front lines. A major Russian missile attack has killed at least 8 people, injuring 25, and has also damaged infrastructure in Ukraine's central Dnipro region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the attack damaged multiple stores in a residential building, as well as a train station in the regional capital, Dnipro. He also called for more air defense weaponry to be delivered to his country. In total, Russian forces carried out 36 missile and drone strikes on Ukraine. The country's air defense forces claim to have shot down 15 missiles and 14 Shahed drones. Now, Ukrainian forces also said that for the very first time since the onset of the war, they have managed to shoot down a Russian strategic bomber. The Tu-22 M3 bomber crashed in Russia's Stavropol Krai early in the morning following strikes on Ukraine. According to Ukraine's military intelligence, the Russian aircraft was shot down around 300 kilometers from Ukrainian territory. Now, the Russian Defense Ministry, meanwhile, claimed the aircraft crashed due to a technical malfunction. Russia also said air defenses brought down what it described as 5 Ukrainian balloons, 3 over Voronezh region and 2 over the Belgorod region. According to Russian news reports, the balloons were equipped with a GPS module and carried explosives. Now, moving on to the Middle East, Israel has carried out a military strike inside Iran in retaliation for the April the 14th attack. Now, Iranian air defense systems were activated in the cities of Isfahan and Tabriz. After 3 explosions were heard close to a major military airbase near Isfahan, Iranian state media played down the damage from the attacks, and Iran lifted flight restrictions imposed overnight. Israel notified the United States of its intention to carry out strikes in Iran, giving its closest ally a few hours' official notice. The warning did not include details of the attack, but did make it clear that Israel intended to avoid Tehran and its vicinity, and was focused on a specific military program or facility related to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Now, check out this crazy scene near Terny, where the Russian infantry is straight up running for cover from FPV drones. These enemy soldiers thought they could just hide behind a wrecked BMP. However, the operators from the Azov Special Purpose Brigade's RAPPAC 12 unit weren't having any of it. The drone cams caught every single move, as these bad boys skillfully took down the Russians on the Kreminsky front. that's what I call a deadly game of cat and mouse. Now, we're moving on, and we've got some serious action going down in the Bryansk People's Republic. We can play this game too. Anyway, those mystery rangers are causing ruckus with their drones hitting the Russian occupiers right where it hurts. And their precision strikes took out a surveillance point and an antenna, leaving the Russians scratching their heads. Let's take a glance at what really happened there. I'm glad this antenna was not a refinery in Russia, because otherwise it would have been condemned as an attack on a civilian facility. Anyway, moving on. CIA Chief William Burns issued a stark warning, saying Ukraine could actually lose the war against Russia without US assistance. He even set a timeline, urging lawmakers to approve additional support for Kiev. Ukrainians are holding their ground, hitting Russian forces with everything they've got. And gotta hand it to them, they are incredibly effective with their tactics. Guess pretending to be a giant boulder doesn't really work as camouflage, and neither does actually trying to face an FPV drone in melee combat. I don't know what this guy was trying to do. Anyway, moving on to our next story, and in this one, a Russian FPV drone was trying to pull a fast one on one of Ukrainian soldiers in the trenches. However, this whole effort totally backfired. The attempt went belly up, and those Ukrainian troops came out unscathed. Talk about a failed mission. It just goes to show you can't mess with the resilience of the Ukrainian military. And as you can see, Ukrainians are fighting for freedom every single day. Wasn't all of American history also about fighting for freedom? Yeah, we're actually saying this because of Saturday, because of the vote, Ukraine aid bill. Get it done. The world is counting on you, and we're not exaggerating. And with this, we end this episode of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.